NFL free agency is underway as we've already seen some big names head to some new places. We'll talk about all that and more in this video as the tampering period has begun. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, that beautiful, that football discourse. I'll probably have a video at the end of the day kind of wrapping up the first full day of free agency, because I'm sure the minute I post this, some news is gonna break, like, oh, Aaron Rodgers officially traded. I will refresh my Twitter timeline at the end of this video just see if any new signings came in, but we're gonna touch up on the ones that have already come through today. As we're gonna start this with the Buffalo Bills. We're gonna go by team and by conference, well, division, I suppose, but their big addition was Conor McGovern, really their only addition. And I actually really like this move. I think it's a solid contract, 3 years, $23 million. And some people might look at this and say, oh man, Buffalo, now they probably won't go with a guard in the first round. I don't think that takes them out of necessarily I don't think that takes them out from taking a guard, but maybe looking for a guard maybe with center flexibility or a center with guard flexibility, like a John Michael Schmitz or a Steve Avila. So I still think that's in the cards. They could also opt for like a DeJuan Jones, kind of upgrade that right tackle position, because Spencer Brown's kind of been a letdown. But I think this was a very good deal by the Buffalo Bills. They're trying to get more athletic along the offensive line. On to my Miami Dolphins, who had by far one of the biggest trades, at least until Aaron Rodgers comes through, as they picked up Jalen Ramsey for only a third and a Hunter Long. That's right. You remember Hunter Long? Yeah, I didn't either. But the former tight end out of Boston College. And I don't know if they just weren't getting a lot of offers for Jalen Ramsey, or if they weren't getting what they expected in terms of, oh, maybe we could get a second or maybe even a first round pick. Maybe the offers weren't coming along like that, but some way, somehow, by hook or by crook, freaking Dolphins end up with Jalen Ramsey. He's going to be playing there across from X. I love that. I love that corner duo. Hopefully X could step up his game from last season. It seemed like kind of a down year for him, but I think that's a great addition at exceptional value. If that was, if we were going to spend a corner pick on that third, like with the third rounder, this is much better. This is much better. This is a win-win. Well, a win for the Dolphins. Anywho, Mike White was an interesting name. I was like, maybe they try, with Teddy gone, then maybe they try to pick up another backup instead of Skylar Thompson. And Mike White, actually a really good pickup. It ended up going 2 years, $16 million. So like if Tua does go down as he did last year, and then I don't feel terrible about Mike White having to come in and start, man. We know this guy can be a gunslinger. So I thought that was a good pickup for the Dolphins. So far, the Jalen Ramsey thing, of course, is kind of the full dessert, but cherry on top there is Mike White. Now let's talk about the New England Patriots, as they got these moves listed here, as these were just a bunch of re-signings. Jonathan Jones coming back, as he kind of like already talked about on Twitter, like, hey, it's pretty hard to leave the Patriots, and I would love to come back. A dude that is going to be 30, 31, but I like this deal. 2 years, $20 million. Does that mean corners off the table with their pick at 14? Not necessarily, but it makes it less likely. Also, they moved Jonnu Smith for a 7th rounder, so it's like you kind of go back and look at them signing Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith kind of as bust sign-ins, I guess, at this point. But we're going to talk about the Falcons later. I really like the addition of Jonnu Smith. Now, the New York Jets, we're obviously going to talk about Aaron Rodgers here. Let's just run through. They bring back Quincy Williams. He was fine. He was all right last year. They could probably get better at the linebacker position anyway, even with this move, but it's fine. Chuck Clark was a great addition for a 7th round pick. A 7th round pick in 2024, nonetheless. I like that addition because I mean, they have Jordan Whitehead there, and their other safety position was kind of mad with guys like Austin Davis, LaMarcus Joyner, who would be either play deep or play in the slot. So Chuck Clark is nice, even if he's like a dime linebacker in some cases. So I thought those were two. I thought at least the Chuck Clark was a very good addition. Quincy Williams was kind of whatever to me. But the news is there is a deal done for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is just deciding if he wants to play or not. So the report, there is a deal, at least if not done, close to being done. It's just they're waiting on Aaron. So we wait here patiently. Again, we'll refresh the Twitter timeline just in case. Show me these tweets. Yeah, I don't see anything as of right now. So, okay, cool. Let's keep moving. As Lamar Jackson, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the week, him receiving the non-exclusive franchise tag. And I think this is just the Ravens kind of calling Lamar Jackson's bluff. Like, he wants Deshaun Watson money. They're like, hey, that deal is kind of ludicrous and no one's going to give you that. So go ahead, test free agency. Or test, see what other teams are willing to offer for you, because we're fairly confident that they're not going to offer what you're expecting, and whatever they do give you or whatever they do offer you, that it'll be something that we have the ability to match. So kind of essentially, I guess, big dogging Lamar Jackson. And then you had like Washington and Atlanta come out like, oh, we're not going to be pursuing Lamar Jackson. And I was like, oh, okay, that's whatever. Okay. I don't know why Atlanta, I'd be like, yo, let's get a deal done. Let's do it. But okay, whatever. Then also, I mean, another one we could talk about here is Calais Campbell getting released. I imagine he ends up back with the team. Jermaine Pratt re-signing with the Bengals. I love this one a lot. So it's 3 years, $21 million. He will receive $10 million in year one, and then $15 million over the next 2 years. So a very team-friendly deal after year one. I like that a ton because they are going to be really trying hard to re-sign guys like, obviously, your T. Higgins, your Joe Burrow, your Jamar Chase. So this gives them a little more flexibility, but it keeps that nasty pairing of Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt together. The Cleveland Browns have yet to make moves. The Steelers have yet to make moves. They have in fact lost Cam Sutton. We'll get to that when we get to the Detroit Lions. But a few moves here by the Houston Texans. And there's one on here not even mentioned, as they signed Hassan Ridgeway, the former Niner, so a former DeMeco Ryans guy. They add Chase Winovich, who was someone who was at least scouted by, Nick Sirio was with the Patriots, so there's some ties there. I thought the Roberts Woods edition was very solid. I really do. That now your rookie, whoever rookie quarterback you have coming in there, they also added Case Keenum as a very good backup. But I say very good backup. He's a backup. But whoever your rookie quarterback is, you're giving him a very good wide receiver, a consistent wide receiver there, and hoping you could probably add to the wide receiver position also maybe sometime on day, maybe with that second first round pick, or maybe somewhere on day 2. I imagine they're not done yet with the wide receiver position, but also Laramie Tunsil has been teased to potentially be traded. And really it's just the Chiefs that I've seen really talked about as a potential landing spot. I don't know if that's necessarily the case after the addition of Jawan Taylor, because I'll talk about that a little later, how that kind of muddies things for a Tunsil trade. So the Colts, they just brought back Tyquan Lewis. You have a couple of re-signings here by the Jacksonville Jaguars. CJ Beathard, you got Evan Ingram obviously got slapped with the tag, and then Roy Robertson Harris. Tennessee Titans brought back a long snapper, and then we move on to the West, where the Broncos have made some moves. It's also reported that they might try to move one of their receivers. Don't know how much legitimacy there is to that, but that was something that I saw floating out there. The Jared Stidham addition was interesting as a backup there for Russell Wilson, but I guess it kind of is what it is. But I like the addition of Ben Powers after they release Graham. Oh my gosh, Glasgow, right? Regardless, they released him. So I mean, you're looking at what? Quentin Miners there on the interior with Ben Powers. You also have Lloyd Cushenberry as well. Who else is on that interior for the Broncos? Obviously, I'm not talking about the big signing here of Mike McGlinchey at right tackle. Hopefully, they keep Garrett Bowles, who then you got one of the best offensive lines in football. You really do. A very consistent offensive line. And I think then, okay, maybe we see them go after a running back early in the draft. I say early. Their first pick is until, the beginning of the third round. But I could see them going after a running back early since Javonte Williams probably won't be back till late October or sometime in November from the ACL. So I think that is very possible. Here, let's look at this Denver Broncos offensive line. It's Cushenberry. Oh yeah, that's right, because Dalton Reisner is a free agent as well. Okay, I was like, I'm forgetting someone there, but yeah, I forgot that they also released Graham as well to make room. So the offensive line looks really good. Your weakest link there is Lloyd Cushenberry, who's not even bad. So it's like, that's a solid offensive line. Now you just need to get the horses at running back, because right now on the roster they really got nobody. Tyler Batty. I mean, again, Javonte Williams probably won't be back till halfway through the season. But Denver is really I really like these signings. The McGlinchey thing did surprise me a bit. I thought he was surely going to a team like the Patriots or even the Bears. Now let's talk about this Jawan Taylor signing to the Chiefs. I love the fit. He's always been a much better pass protector than run blocker, so I think he really just fits in immediately in this offense. And then I was like hearing the Laramie Tunsil stuff, and I was like, yo, I mean, you just sure up your tackles there. Bam, Jawan Taylor, right tackle, Breeden Tunsil, left tackle, but they're saying they're going to move Jawan Taylor to left tackle, which kind of then poo-poos the Laramie Tunsil stuff at this point. So I'm like blown away. I was like, this cat hasn't played left tackle before in the NFL, I believe. So like, that feels a bit more of a stretch. I really like him on the right side because we know Wiley, he's already off onto another team. So I don't know. I was a bit surprised by that follow-up news, but I still like the sign, and I think the fit's really, really good. And I'm just refreshing the Twitter timeline. The Bears, they signed Tremaine Edmunds. Oh man, did they just? They also just signed TJ Edwards. Oh my gosh, linebackers. Oh wow. And the Bears are making moves right now. Here, I'm gonna refresh this real quick, and hopefully they maybe updated some of this stuff. I'm gonna go, but it doesn't look like it necessarily. It doesn't look like it, but I mean, I'll talk about it when I get to the Bears. The Bears are making moves right now, and I'm kind of all for it right now. So obviously the big one for the Raiders, they bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G. This is obviously not a long-term option. This is a stopgap option. Does this mean they're out of court, like they're not in play for quarterback at 7? I don't believe that. I believe there could still be a move where maybe they're sitting there at 7 and they decide to maybe go with whoever quarterback 4 is, who falls in that pick. I just don't think now that they're going to move up for a quarterback, though. I feel like they're going to be real happy at 7, and if they like the guy there at 7 at quarterback, they'll go with him. If they don't, they'll go with another position of need. Jimmy Garoppolo, kind of like Jimmy G, kind of enables them to do that. Chargers. The bigger news here, let me see if I could change this to a more like free agency explainers. Here, let's open that in a new tab, see if that's maybe more what I'm looking. No, this is nothing that I'm looking for. This is not it. All right, so we're just going to stick with it. We were in the AFC West. The bigger news for the Chargers is that Austin Eckler has requested the ability to seek a trade. Might be bigger news. Remember, his contract's up after next season, which I've kind of played with. Hey, Bijan's kind of in the cards for the Chargers if he's available. And it feels a lot more likely now that not, I mean, where Bijan goes, your guess is as good as mine. There could be a variety of different spots, but I think Chargers are a spot that makes sense, and especially Austin Eckler requesting an ability to seek a trade. Tony Pollard, he got franchised by the Cowboys. Nothing much to say there. The Giants, we talked about the move with the 4-year deal with Daniel Jones, the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley. Outside of that, they haven't really done much outside of bringing back Sterling Shepard. This is a really good deal, guys. Like, it's 1 year, $1.3 million. Does this mean they're not going to go after wide receiver in the NFL draft? Absolutely not. But that's just a good team-friendly deal for a guy who, you know what you're getting, a guy who's familiar with the system. The Eagles have taken some hits. Kelsey will return for next season. That's great. They were able to bring back Brandon Graham. Outside of that, they have seen some of their players go. They really, really have, which is quite unfortunate, but kind of is what it is, unfortunately. Just refreshing the timeline again. Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing with the Eagles. You're not going to, like, this is why you got to draft well. You're not going to always be able to, like, bring back guys at high prices. And, you know, I have full confidence, like, maybe their linebacker crew, like guys with like Nakobe and Dean and such, maybe they're now able to kind of step up. That defense, I mean, to be fair, they have draft picks. They have the arsenal to kind of like replenish some of these positions. So obviously Javon Hargrave now on another team as well. So it's like, I have full faith that the Eagles, while yeah, they're missing really good players, it really sucks that they're going elsewhere, but they have the arsenal to replenish some of those spots through, via the draft. It's just kind of sucky. Maybe they don't have necessarily the guys in-house right now. I mean, because you're asking Nakobe Dean to step up. Milton Williams is probably going to see a much bigger role. He only had like 500 snaps last year. So does he get pushed into more of a full-time starter role? We'll see. Now, the Washington Commanders made a couple of moves pertaining to the offensive line today, as Nick Gates comes in, 3 years, $16 million. I think that's a very team friendly deal. I say team friendly, but I think it's a good deal. Obviously, this kind of feels like Chase Royer probably on the way out then with the addition of Gates. Andrew Wiley, I feel like this move seals the deal. Samuel Cosmi is moving to guard full time. So Wiley comes in there. I don't exactly love that signing because I'm not going to lie to you. I think Cosmi's a better tackle than Wiley at this point. But that's just my opinion. It is what it is. They're trying to get the offensive line to be a better and really have protection for your current now, like for Sam Howell. Maybe you're going to go out and get a fair evaluation of a Sam Howell. Maybe they move up, try to move up and get one of these quarterbacks at pick 3. Do they do that? I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily in the cards, but how wild would it be? Now that I say this out loud. Now, do they have the arsenal to do that? Does Ron Rivera feel like, hey, maybe we're more in this like, hey, let's at least get a franchise guy. Sorry, Sam Howell. Let's get maybe a franchise guy and show, hey, we're moving towards the future, man. We got the horses now. But I think these are moves that are like, hey, we really want to run the ball efficiently. I mean, I guess the Andrew Wiley thing, it kind of makes sense with Eric Bieniemy there. So, and I say run the ball efficiently, but like obviously this is more to set up the passing game. So like, I'm kind of excited if Sam Howell gets a go-ahead with this. And I didn't really mention the Daron Payne signing the 4-year, $90 million contract. Yeah, that's big money, but kind of worth it. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. Let's refresh this here and see if they've added any of the Bears. They haven't. Okay. So the Bears, obviously, the big trade, DJ Moore, draft picks, great. They opened the day bringing in TJ Edwards, 3 years, $19.5 million. I think that is a very good deal. Like, I love the addition, but even more, I love the contract. Now, let's talk about their other moves as they bring in, because people were like, man, Jack Sanborn, TJ Edwards, that's going to be a great linebacker. That's going to be a solid linebacker duo. They paying Tremaine Edmunds, baby. I thought Houston would have been in the run-in. They might have been, but it's the Bears shelling out money to bring in Tremaine Edmunds, 4 years, $72 million with 50 guaranteed. Holy moly. But they don't stop there. They grab Nate Davis, who I thought was the best offensive lineman last year for the Tennessee Titans, who had problems on the offensive line, to a 3-year, $30 million. He's going to come in there. He's going to play guard with, Taven Jenkins. I think maybe this means Cody Whitehead or Cody. Oh gosh, Cody what? His name's like right on the tip of my tongue. Whitehair, there we go. Not Whitehead. Whitehair. Probably he's got center like experience, so he'll move to center because Musgrave's just not that guy in my opinion. But I love the Nate Davis addition there. And I mean, for a team that if they're gonna want to run the ball exceptionally well with their running quarterback and a healthy Khalil Herbert, I love that. So I'm loving some of the moves the Bears have done here. I'm kind of curious now. Are they still in the market for a Caleb McGarry? But from what I've seen, it sounds like he might stay put in Atlanta. But I mean, shoot, they could also draft tackle. So there's that. Or maybe they take Bijan, have that duo there. Holy moly, man, that'd be kind of crazy. But yeah, I've so far the moves by the Bears, they still got a long way to go with that defensive line. So we wait and see. The big sign-in for the Detroit Lions is Cameron Sutton, 3 years, $33 million. So does this preclude them from bringing in, now drafted a tackle at 6? Kind of feels like it. I don't think it takes them necessarily out of it because Jeffrey Okudah by no means is his spot there settled. It's not cemented. He's a guy that they're still kind of like, now we're going to year 4 and we're hoping, okay, are you the guy there on the outside? So it doesn't preclude them from going corner, I think. But it does feel a little less likely. Maybe if they go out and maybe grab another corner. Can you imagine Jamel Dean? Oh my gosh. Because Cameron Sutton, he's got flexibility. He can play in the slot as well. So I do kind of like that. I'm going to refresh my timeline real quick just to see any other moves. All right. Oh, that is funny. Marcus from here. I'll just put it up. Marcus from that franchise guy says, not saying this is a bad move, but it's fascinating that they paid him after not wanting to pay Roquan, which is funny. It's kind of fair. It's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. All right, I don't see anything new as of yet. Yeah, I don't see anything new yet, so let's keep this sucker rolling. I also like the Isaiah Bugs, him coming back, 2 years, $6 million. That's a good deal. Really about the Packers, we're just waiting on Aaron Rodgers news. They bring back Nixon, who was freaking phenomenal for them as a return man. The Minnesota Vikings, this was kind of strange. Like, it's kind of whatever to me. Like, Josh Oliver as an addition, it's like, that's cool. You get a solid run blocker who honestly is a really good athlete. Just injuries have kind of gotten in the way of his career, unfortunately. But I mean, are we going to see a lot more 12 personnel when it comes to the Vikings? I mean, TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver are guys also you could play as big slots. So I think that's kind of cool. Like 3 years, $21 million. I'm not in love with it by any means. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's all right. It's all right. All right. Still not seeing nothing. All right. Now the Atlanta Falcons. I like what they've done for the most part. So they end up extending Chris Lindstrom, giving him the contract he deserves. 5 years, $105 million. He's been money for them. And the Jonnu Smith trade, I like that. You're throwing away a 7th round pick. You're bringing a guy that Arthur Smith is familiar with, and you're gonna a team that really likes to run the football. You're gonna run a ton of 12 personnel. You got basically Kyle Pitts, who's basically also a receiver. You could throw him on the outside occasionally. Maybe this allows Pitts them to use him more creatively. You could also actually do the same with Jonnu Smith. He's a bit flexible in that regard. Like low key, the David Onyemata deal, like not half bad. At first, I'm like $12 million per year. I'm not in love with that, but I mean, next to Gray Jarrett, it's not bad. It's not bad. Two interesting signings here by the Carolina Panthers, and actually solid ones. Shai Tuttle, I think, is a very good deal. 3 years, $19 million. There to kind of come in there and help Derek Brown there on the interior. Then you sign Von Bell, who now I think this more so begs the question, what are you going to be doing with Jeremy Chin? Like, oh, we're going to move him to the slot. He's going to play backfield. I feel like this allows you to be more creative with him than you were last year, especially after Phil Snow, right? Who was their former defensive coordinator, left the team. I'm a big Phil Snow fan, by the way, guys. Big Phil Snow guy. But this kind of allows you to be a bit more creative. Von Bell, kind of that strong safety, that box safety role. Xavier Woods, a guy that's pretty flexible in what you ask him to do. So you could get real creative with Jeremy Chin. So I think those are solid signs by the Panthers. The Saints, the big thing was Derek Carr. I talked about that earlier this week. Jawan Johnson getting 2 years, $12 million. Wow, that's, for me, I looked at it, I was like, man, that feels like kind of a lot. They signed one of their big special teamers, JT Gray, back, but like obviously the Derek Carr is kind of the big thing here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have done nothing outside of their expected to release Shaq Mason, which called it. Just saying, called that. All right, let's keep moving. Also, they're reportedly going to go after Baker Mayfield. So, the Arizona Cardinals haven't made moves as far as I've seen, they haven't made moves. And obviously, we got the Rams in the trade. Now, here we go. Finally, we get to it. Javon Hargrave going to the 49ers. At first, I was like, I didn't know they had the cap space. And they went they're somehow going to make it work with some restructures and whatnot. But 4 years, $84 million, 40 of that is guaranteed. This is a team that's like, hey, we want to win now. We have a window. This team is good enough. We got playmakers. Yeah, the offensive line, we're gonna have to bring in some guys and hope that some of the guys we maybe drafted last year step up. But this defense is gonna continue to be the bane of every other offense's existence. shoot, matter of fact, our division, it's kind of weak right now. It is. That's just a fact. Like Arizona Cardinals, they're kind of in a mini turnaround / rebuild. The Rams, I don't know. Maybe they're about to fire sale everything. We'll see. But the Seahawks, watch out for the Seahawks. So we got to stay in front of those guys. Hargrave, I think, is a move that does that because I mean, if you look to the interior, like outside of Eric Armstead, like a guy like Javon Kinlaw. There we go. Injuries kind of played a role, but he's never really stepped up to that first round billing. Ends up being a bit of a bust. But I like the move. I wasn't expecting it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was not expecting it. All right, so let's go to the Seattle Seahawks. They only had Geno Smith. All right, I'm going to reset the Twitter timeline one last time. NFL free agency. And see what I get with the latest. Oh. Okay. Because as far as... Thank you, Gojo. Are y'all telling me there's nothing either? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't seeing any new additions yet. But again, come back later tonight where we'll wrap all this up. And I guess I'll kind of give grades on some of the day one moves. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.